The customer base for Coder, internal customer base, is still somewhat, we're just now starting. We've only been running Coder about 3 months, and we have about 300 users, and primarily focused on one product team. What I mentioned before, what kind of started that was a large dev cluster that more and more people were starting to use, and there were the problems with, differences between the development environment, tool chain, what was going on in CI, builds themselves taking a long time. No one could run unit tests, or they could run unit tests. They couldn't run any functional tests. So there was a lot of, and with CI and the concept of ownership, what we were seeing was this sort of the chuck it over the fence concept, meaning I will work on my code, and when I put it into the CI, if a test fails in CI, well, I don't know. It wasn't mine. I don't know. So, but when we shifted that internally, we brought in Coder. We were able to obviously reduce a lot of the friction around the tool chain and other things. But one of the things we noticed very interestingly was once developers had ownership, or and by ownership, possession of the tests, being able to run locally, we found that they were much more likely to fix a test that they may not have owned because it was there. I don't know if this phrase is still used, but it's like possession is 9/10 of the law. Not a legal doctrine. Don't quote me on that. But it means that basically, if you have possession of something, you're mentally, behaviorally feel like you own it, or you take responsibility for it. And we saw developers being more likely to fix things that may not have been what they owned or what they officially owned. So we saw a huge shift in behaviorally in some developers around quality. They were more willing they were running more tests. They were doing more stuff that they weren't doing before because they could, and because it was within their reach and it was easy.